Hello again. Welcome to day one, part two of the staff training process, meeting your local team. In most cases, if not all, there should be more than one of you. And I hope that in all the classroom sites across the continent, there should be. If not, that's an issue. Hence the necessity for you to meet each other. So in every classroom, there should be a system administrator and a teaching assistant, and there should be a number of you as well. Hence now we are doing this activity, or rather having this part where we're meeting each other in whatever classroom site and local classroom context we're in. The first activity that I'll ask you to do will take about 10 minutes to complete. Firstly, I'll ask you to get into pairs or a group of 3 if there's an odd number of people. Pair with someone that you do not know, quite well, because, the point of this is to get acquainted with someone. If that's not possible, that is okay. However, please do try pair up with someone that you do not know very well. What you're going to do with this person or with these people is that you're going to have a chat to get to know each other in a relaxed manner. Make sure that you find out at least 3 to 5 things about your partner. So ask questions about what's your favorite meal, where were you born, what are your goals? Just any question that you want to know. Just obviously it has to be respectful and within the bounds of being professional as well. You can ask certain sensitive questions or inappropriate questions. However, this is just getting to know each other. So I think the lines that I would draw is be professional and make sure that it's not something that you could be, taken to court for. Don't ask people very personal questions, but just get to know each other. Ask fun questions. After 5 minutes, so you're going to do this for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes of chatting, I'd ask that you organize all your chairs in a circle or semicircle so that the whole group is sitting together. And the point of that is, in psychology or in philosophy in most cases, a circle represents equality. So, as you can see in my hands, is that when something is round, there's no, like in a triangle, there'd be a top and there'd be bottom people. So then, or like in a square, there'd be inequality because then there'd be the top and then there'd be bottom. Just it would be unequal. And I think what we're driving here, or rather my point of trying to even explain those shapes, is that we are trying to create a culture or a sense of, and foster a sense of equality amongst volunteers and amongst ourselves as well. So you and I are equals in this case. So please sit in a circle so that sense of belonging is fostered early on. Can you kindly as well now introduce your partner to the rest of the group? For example, you'll say, this is Peter, he likes hiking. Peter's not here, guys, I'm just using an example. But if your group is very small, like only 2 to 3 people, as will happen in some cases, tell your partner what you remember about them from the description of themselves. So I'll say to Peter, I remember you telling me that you like eating sadza and muruo, and drinking water afterwards and going for a run. I ever find in crazy ideas people will tell you, but this is us trying to break the ice. So this is an icebreaker, because I think what tends to happen is in most professional settings, we have this wall that we put up against our colleagues, and I think we're trying to break that down so that we can have a comfortable relationship and a very good and well-oiled relationship going forward for the next 3 months. Excuse me. Again, I asked that so I gave you the instructions as to how the game is going to work, or the activity 1 is going to work. Kindly, it's going to take 10 minutes. Kindly press pause now and complete activity 1. I swear to you, I promise you, you're going to find me right here when you're done with the activity. Just take about 10 to 15 minutes if it goes that far, but try and remain on time. And you'll find me here when you're done. Welcome back from activity 1. I will now move swiftly right along to ground rules. A lot of people wonder why ground rules are important. And I think in working with human beings and working in teams and working with people with different personalities and backgrounds and interests and however many similarities there might be, we are all human and we might, let's say now, we're all passionate about bioinformatics. We're very different. We're still human. And I think in these cases, we need to come up with ways of behaving together and to each other and towards each other so that we can accomplish and complete this common goal of making sure that the participants that are going to be coming in class next week and in the next 3 months are going to be finding a team that's together and knows what it's doing and manages itself properly. So we shouldn't make any assumptions. So we want to ensure that everyone is on the same page. And how to do that? We can do that using ground rules. Let's set expectations about each other and for each other. And this is, again, I'm telling you, in your local context, in your local classroom site, what expectations do you have for fellow teaching assistants and for, as system admin, what expectations do you have for teaching assistants and vice versa? Very often, new ground rules come out of retrospectives, so looking back. For example, a team might have encountered issues with some members making decisions on their own, and after a discussion about how to avoid this in future, they decide to add the ground rule. We make decisions together to the list of rules. This comes from, as you can see here, it comes from nomad8.com, which is a website that you can go on in your own time, and you'll see. I just copied and pasted this, and hence I'm referencing. However, ground rules are very important, and I think for us, what we're trying to do now is to create them from the beginning. And I will stress the fact that they are very fluid. They're not set in stone. They're not frozen. They are iterative. They're very adaptive, and they should be. So as you're going to do activity 2, just put it at the back of your mind that yes, we are agreeing to these, but however, if they need to change in the next few weeks for your own context and your own local classroom, please do meet and decide to change them together, because again, equality is a key principle, is a tenet, building, and like a very fundamental building block, I wanted to say, for IBT as the core team and for you as well as volunteers, and we appreciate your time and effort. These are a few examples of ground rules. They're only suggestions. Please do not feel forced to use them. You can copy and paste them. However, you have to agree as a team, and you can come up with your own. For instance, I'll read out a few. Have fun, but not at the expense of someone else's feelings. Again, I said we're human beings and we have feelings and we have different backgrounds. So be cognizant of that. Notify the team in advance if you'll be absent. So for instance, one of the key things, we depend on you to be around and available for a certain number of days, number of hours, for a certain number of weeks or months. So if you cannot make it, do notify us, notify your teammates in advance so that we can make alternative plans and they can make alternative plans, because one thing that we don't want to be having is a site not having run a class on a certain day because someone didn't pitch. So such rules are ground rules to make sure that going forward we have a well-oiled, smooth sailing, smooth running course. For activity 2, so the steps for starting a list of ground rules, and this ideally should take you 15 minutes. Firstly, as a group, brainstorm what is important to each member in terms of acceptable behavior. So again, if there's 10 of us, we might have different ideas and views as to what is acceptable behavior when you're behaving with colleagues and other human beings. Select a scribe, someone who's going to write down all the suggestions that everyone is going to be raising or coming up with. So my suggestion is create a Google document and project it onto the wall or TV screen. So wherever you see me now, the screen that you see me, can someone create a document and put it up where you can see me at the moment, your projector or your projected screen? Create this document in your IBT Google folder. So you should, and because we've created this for you, you should have a Google folder for your own local classroom. So I'm asking you that you create it in that folder, and then you put it up and project it onto the wall or whatever screen that you're using at the moment. This should take you 5 minutes. As a group, decide on the top 5 suggestions. Please vote. Again, equality is a building block, an important building block for IBT. So talk through each item to ensure that each team member has a clear understanding of what they're agreeing to. When you finalize your list, get confirmation again from each team member having to raise their hand and saying, hi, I agree with number 1, or no, I disagree with number 2, to physically acknowledge that they agree to abide by a group of behaviors. And this is important because then you can hold them down to say, Pablo, in week 1, you said you won't scream or you won't throw rocks at me. You know, that's crazy, but whatever ground rules you came up with, then you can tie them down to them because they agreed to those suggestions in the beginning. Type up a finalized list and share with each team, team staff member. Share via Google Docs as I asked you to do. And for now that you've just completed activity 2, please go on to the next video, which is titled Day 1, Part 3. Now that you just completed